Niggas is back. Niggas is black. As always, it's the Black Rasslin podcast, giving y'all niggas wrestling from a nigga perspective. As always, it's your boy Cal, rockthedub.com. But you already knew that. As you can see, you can't hear him yet, but you can see these motherfuckers right now. The squad is on the line, as always. Please say what's good to the people, y'all.
You already know, man. IlFam79, your social media choice, aka Blazer Ramon.
Hey yo.
You can't give niggas technology, man. You really can't do it. You really can't.
At all.
It's Math the Model Martel.
Motherfucker.
At Math Dang.
Oh god. Shit. I feel like there's I guess we'll go in order of importance. Because we're not getting into everything that happened in wrestling this week because of all that shit. I don't even know if we're gonna have time to get into Matt Riddle uploading videos to the Twitter talking about
Oh, I know, sir.
I know. I cheated on my wife with her. But this is a week of celebration. Whew. Now I gotta ask y'all, because now that the secret's out, Keith Lee won the NXT Championship Classic. Good match too.
Champion, amazing match.
Was that the leak? Was that the leak?
Was it? That was the rumor that came out last week was that Keith Lee beat Adam Cole at the taping. There were people at the taping. Because remember, we always talk about, where does stuff leak come from? Where does leaks come? It's always a live taping. It's never anything else but a live taping. Sure enough, but because the leak was it started to evolve. Because from what I understand, the initial thing was the result of the match, and then there were some NXT stars, some NXT wrestlers who were copping pleas out of turn. They was online like, yo, yeah, there's this leak that came out, but just know that they always record 2 or 3 different finishes to these matches. So people aren't getting, they don't know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe Vince doesn't know, Triple H doesn't know what's going to happen or whatever. But the match ended the way that the leak went, the rumor said it was going to be. And a lot of people are speculating that there wasn't any different endings or anything taped for the match. And I think there was even talk of people being upset at the wrestlers who were going on social media trying to say that the leak wasn't all it was cracked up, like trying to save face for the company when nobody asked them to. But yeah, I'm surprised y'all didn't, and that shit wasn't spoiled for y'all.
Nope. I stayed all the way out.
Nope.
Damn, I respect it. I knew people hadn't known about it when I was trying to figure out if people was trying to watch NXT or AEW. Most people watch AEW.
It's not what the number said.
It's not the AEW because they always say AEW loses in the head-to-head, but they win in the demo. That's how they always try and save it. That they won in the little boy to decently old man demographic.
Jericho. If you're not in this demographic, it doesn't matter.
But Keith Lee, I don't need to watch another Adam Cole match.
Nah, I want to see Adam Cole and Karrion Kross.
I don't know who that is. If their name ain't Keith Lee, I don't want to know who they are. I want Keith Lee to retire the NXT Championship.
Yeah,
an actual monster. Who's gonna take it from him?
You're right. It's nobody that's like formidable.
That nigga lost a match to me and
Adam
the
Cole.
same night he won it. I'm sure of it.
I was watching one.
Hey yo.
Math don't understand what's going on right now. I was watching one of the UK takeovers and watch Walter in the main event. I think he might be the only person that could really square up and give. But Walter is also not going to be in. He's not going to be in America for a while. But he don't like being over here no way like that.
Nigga, guess what I'm saying? Killer Cross was sitting in the balcony like a Tekken villain, just like,
man, I'm good.
Like Pop 2 is not happy.
I'd rather see what's in it.
Nah, I don't want to see. It's nobody that I can believe.
Nah, yeah.
Beat Keith Lee.
Who's the cat? Dijakovic?
Yeah,
that might be it.
Dijakovic. The way we discuss how Nyla Rose looks when she wrestles
compared to the other women.
Whoever, correct. It didn't. You say that this. I don't believe it. So I don't believe Adam Cole should ever beat Keith Lee.
No, and I will say, in actually one of the few matches I stayed up to watch all week, because Brother Fam knows I was falling asleep at the end of Raw, towards the end of Raw. It was a bad show, but I watched all of Keith Lee and Adam Cole. Huh?
I fall asleep at the end of Raw too, my nigga.
Yeah, I bet you too.
Hey yo. All the time.
But there was I didn't realize I fell asleep. What's the name? Forgot my goddamn. I forget what I was saying. I really forgot what I was saying.
Motherfucking, damn.
I genuinely forgot what I was saying. I don't remember where I was going. Keith Lee, he won the damn belt.
Hey.
No. I was saying that the Keith Lee Adam Cole match was a very good match in that it made Keith look like there was nothing that Adam could do. There was nothing he could do to stop Keith Lee.
Nothing. Nope.
Keith always had a counter for him. He was always stronger than him. I don't know what that's going to mean for other people. I mean, I'm assuming are they going to have another match?
It doesn't look like it, to be honest.
It felt like it was the end, right?
I think the revival.
Yeah.
What do these niggas do? What's the?
Yeah, the revival.
The white guys, yeah.
Yeah,
No, well,
they popping up at SummerSlam, yo.
The I don't
Tree
know.
Utes.
That would make sense. They probably need them.
That's how you play them off TV. Any of them got belts? All the belts gone, right?
Well, I
All the
mean,
belts gone.
Oh yeah, they gone then.
transitioning into there's another point I want to make, but before that was a good segue into. There's this image. Shouts out to the Jobber Tears. I don't know if people saw on their Instagram they were modeling their new jackets. Assuming those are going to be available. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm terrible at knowing stuff. But they shared an image of it looks like the majority of the champions. There's at least 9 different championship belts that are held by non-white guys.
Is it any good?
I mean, look, Apollo Crews is the U.S. champ. You've got, we'll get to these in a minute. You got R-Truth as a 24/7, but then you go Street Profits, Raw Tag Team Champions, New Day, SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Asuka's the Raw Women's Champion. EO, is that EO?
Yeah.
Is it NXT?
Yeah,
is it NXT
from she just took the belt from
Charlotte. And who's my man? Is this the Cruiserweight champion?
Yeah.
Is that Tony Nese? I don't know who that is.
Miedo.
No, that's AEW.
Oh,
but then you also have
your family.
Mark Merrill.
You have Becky. You have Bailey and Sasha, who not only have the women's tag team champions, but Bayley's also the SmackDown Women's Champion. It's a lot of diversity going. Huh?
There's only one. The white dude holds the biggest title.
Nah, it's Keith Lee.
Well, you've got what?
Oh, absolutely.
The major men's championships in the WWE are still held by white guys. Who's
the U.S. champ?
U.S. is Apollo. I'm trying to think who has the Intercontinental.
MVP.
That's AJ Styles, right?
AJ Styles, yeah.
AJ has Intercontinental. Is there? I don't know if there's any other titles.
AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, and
Keith Lee's got the 2 major singles titles in NXT. Who's the NXT Tag Team Champions?
They ain't got no tag team champions, do
Yeah, it was
Street Profits.
No, I thought it was Undisputed Era for a minute, but then did they lose it?
Nigga said,
They lost 2 of the niggas from Volta and them from Imperium. Didn't Imperium take the belts?
Do they still have the belts? Them shit sitting overseas.
Overseas. Under siege.
Under siege overseas. Yeah, the current champions are Imperium. I guess when did they win these?
Them niggas about to wrestle Blanche at them joints.
Big facts. Big facts. Still no word on her either.
They're not going to make it, sir. You can take these and shove off.
Imperium won those belts on NXT in Florida and then took them shits to the UK and then said, fuck it.
Like, ain't them niggas like, I don't know, yo. To me, like, when Imperium put the little hand behind their back, like, I feel like the other hand can go like this. Like,
it feels racist.
Shout out to Deshaun Jackson.
But it's also interesting to see, because, mentioning Bayley.
No donation. No donation.
No donation.
Was it me, yo, or was there like an overabundance of side shots from Bayley this week? Like they showed up.
I'm with it
a lot.
I'm fine with it. Look, I enjoy. I enjoy everything about Bayley's character currently.
Karen.
There's nothing wrong with Karen in her soccer mom van pulling up, drunk off White Claw, showing her belts around, laughing at people,
talking about her straps, huh?
Drunk off White.
Becky Doe straps. She telling everybody about her straps.
Bayley 2 straps.
Sausage straps.
But you've got Bayley 2 belts. Sasha could have 2 belts if she beats Asuka. Becky had 2 belts for a minute. Keith's got 2 belts. What's the point? What's the point of championships?
I
know what the point is, but like,
if you got both of them, it just means your mid card belt doesn't mean anything.
Well, and that's the point I wanted to get to.
I'm okay with if one of your belts is the tag championship, I'm cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But if you have like you're either getting rid of that North American belt or you're making some kind of weird story out of it, and it's probably gonna be trash.
No, unify. Well, it's the thing because before we recorded.
Trash that shit.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Before we started recording, I was talking with Brother Fam about the FTW Championship showing up on All Elite Wrestling, night 2 of Fighter Fest this week.
They jacked that.
What now? We've not seen. Where did your cousin go? We've not seen the FTW Championship since 1999. Which coincidentally
was it 99?
Yes. It had. There were 3 total defenses.
Right.
Well, yeah. Taz brought the belt.
He canned that too, right?
What's up?
Did he can that?
Yeah. Well, this is what happened. This is what happened with the FTW belt. So,
My bad.
Taz introduces it May of 1998. He holds it for the majority of that year. I don't know. I'm assuming he was defending it, but nobody took it. It was 219 days was the first reign. Sabu beat him in December of 1998 to be the only other person to hold the belt. He held it until March when Taz, who I think Taz they called it the ECW FTW Heavyweight Championship. It ended up being unified with the ECW World Heavyweight Championship in an extreme death match. Shouts out to Holden and Asbury Park, New Jersey. But once it got unified with the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, that was the end of the belt.
Right.
Apparently, the FTW Championship had just been sitting in a closet in some home Taz
Niggas forgot about it.
He probably did. And then decide now that he's managing Brian Cage straight out of 1998. He brings the belt to give it to him to be somebody who no longer has to worry about not having held championship gold.
So, not to beat a dead horse, right?
Go ahead.
These niggas are saddling up on the nostalgia horse once again.
Yeah, it's a there's no point to what's going on here. It's nostalgia for nostalgia's sake.
It's the $1 million belt.
I didn't even look at it like that. I looked at it like they saw Main Man from the other show and thought that was a good move on the other show.
Huh. I could see how you would think that, but apparently they taped this segment before
I thought that too.
They taped the USA Championship situation. We'll get into it.
No, I think he's talking about. Huh?
What are you talking? You talking about TNA?
Main Man. Yeah.
Who's Main Man? That's not my main man.
Hey yo.
Man,
exactly.
Your man.
Who's man?
Main Man.
So
I didn't say your man.
Yeah.
Who's calling him main man?
Yeah, of course we talking about.
Hey yo.
You know what I'm saying? And
hey yo.
Had a problem with his position on the list. We ain't gonna go past that. You know what I'm saying?
Go back a couple episodes. We talk about it in depth, as well as on Wrestling for the Culture with Brian H. Waters.
Shout out to Brian H. Waters, man.
Shouts out to Brian H. Waters. But so all right. So now Brian Cage is the third person to hold the FTW World Championship. But he gets presented this belt the week before AEW Fight for the Fallen, where apparently he has a world championship match against Jon Moxley. So I ask you, what point is made by this man being gifted this paper championship essentially a week before he's fighting for the Federation's real championship?
Maybe he's trying to get on the list.
Maybe
51 and a half.
Facts
50.5.
It just doesn't make it does not make it. There's no sense being made. Because what are the two scenarios that can happen? One,
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, he enters
one. If I win, I'm gonna beat that. Oh.
Two, I win. Beat that ass.
Shouts out Bishop.
In 2/4 pop, talk, and let's get it on.
Facts. So let's say he's FTW World Heavyweight Champion going into a match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, one, I don't know if he puts that belt on the line. I don't know if that's even been discussed. But two, let's say he beats Jon Moxley and wins the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Does he need to do the Keith Lee holding two belts? In the like what's the point of the FTW if you beat the AEW champion for that belt? You wouldn't need the FTW, right?
Maybe he uses the FTW to win the AEW.
But still in all, I mean, then what?
Does the FTW become a hardcore championship?
I don't think so. It's literally been sitting in that bag since 1999 when it unified with the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
What kind of heavyweight championship?
The ECW World Heavyweight Championship?
That's about to be the hardcore championship, yo.
I mean, maybe.
I'm going to tell you what I thought. I thought they introduced this because Jon Moxley wasn't going to make it out of the COVID shit. This is what I thought.
Okay.
Is Fight for the Fallen already taped?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it tapes.
Isn't that a Transformers movie?
Feels like it, right? I think AEW has a habit of taping shows later than W. I want to say like the Stadium Stampede. I think that was taped maybe like a day or two before it aired on TV. Where the WWE's been like, shit, we'll tape that shit a week and a half ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's
a possibility that Fight for the Fallen isn't going to be taped until the weekend before. I don't know. So I'm not sure.
With Moxley being off TV because he's quarantined,
yeah.
I thought they introduced the title to try to go around the fact so Brian Cage can say, this nigga is ducking me. I thought this would have happened before they gave him the, like, it would have made sense if all of this happened before they gave him the title. So then you would have a reason for him to have a title.
That's what Brian
Moxley was ducking him.
That was what Brian Alvarez said it's a similar result. What he said was what you do is if John, you don't worry about introducing the FTW championship before the match. If Jon Moxley beats Brian Cage, or I guess if there's a situation where he can't make it for whatever reason, then the show right after Fight for the Fallen is when Taz should come out and be like, look, you know, you're a hell of a competitor. You deserve a championship, you know, worthy of your, you know, your toughness and stature or whatever. Here's the FTW belt, and then have him walk around with that being a title until Moxley can come around, and then you do the fight or whatever. Again,
the same way Taz got it. That was the exact same way.
I will say, because I love giving shouts out to the brothers that work on this podcast. He didn't realize it back then, but Fam was a stickler for talking about the importance of Moose bringing the TNA Heavyweight Championship onto Impact. And your man's main man.
Hey, yo.
Exactly. But
it will be known as that from here on out.
Hey, yo. I think the storyline that AO is working on in Impact, it kind of set a trend, or there are at least similar coincidental storylines going on, because some people are thinking that that's the same situation with the USA Championship with MVP on Raw this past Monday, where Apollo Crews is holding the championship, but it's MVP and Bobby Lashley in the ring presenting basically like an updated version of the belt, with MVP saying, look at my belt, this is what I'm going to win when I beat Apollo Crews.
Belt.
Yeah, facts. Big facts. So I mean, it's if it's not champions holding multiple championships, it's random titles being remixed and rebranded and rebrought back into, I don't fucking know. Because some of these stories, there's like, what's the end result in the TNA World Heavyweight Championship? If you're not doing the story that AO is the only world champion in Impact, then what's the point?
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is once you see two other niggas fighting for the vacant belt, you're that win
Yeah,
doesn't mean as much, you know what I
it
mean?
means nothing.
So,
It means
Hey, yo.
shut up. You know what I mean?
it's. I feel you. It's a weird time, man. It's a really I guess because there's only so much they can do with COVID and certain wrestlers not wanting to be around. They're trying shit, but I can't say a lot of this. It's too similar, too much of the same shit, and it's not like these aren't quality storylines that we're sitting on. This is, like you said, this is $1 million championship level stuff.
Mhm.
You know, here's this belt that I'm bringing. It's what people hated what boxing became. You know what I'm saying? Anybody with a bunch of money can create their own championship, and now they just walk in with this belt in their hand like they're somebody.
WBO, WBC, the Ring Magazine Championship.
I hate that.
Legitimately, one time, Zab Judah and Paulie Malignaggi fought for the World Heavyweight Championship of Brooklyn. I wish I was making that right.
I like that match.
I respect some of that stuff more. I would respect the FTW championship if you had to do something. A guy like Taz.
It was the UNH championship, pronounced the all. You know what I mean? Brooklyn.
Do we need to get a championship belt?
The BRP?
The
BRP.
Yeah, Kofi has it right now.
Facts. But I mean, like, I don't know what the amount of money it would take to make a nice quality belt that would last. Like, think of, because this is my thing. Instead of being like, oh, my name's Taz and I got this belt that I introduced and kind of just hand it off to wrestlers willy nilly. What if we came up with our own championship? At some event, you have a tournament that night, similar to how ECW was supposed to crown the NWA. I don't want nobody throwing our belt down, but I think it's you pick a federation, you have black wrestlers compete for the BRP championship, and then that could just be one of the belts they hold.
Shout out to Trisha Dora.
Exactly. Men, women, whoever. We need. If we put together a shirt that was fire as fuck and made it so all proceeds of that shirt went to a BRP championship belt.
I mean, another shirt that's fire.
Here he go.
Another one.
I mean, again, they're not even. We got video. There's video of upcoming merch that
Motherfucker.
I know Matt's family has been run ragged this week. Assembly line.
Jesus Christ.
Out labor laws.
But I mean,
Christ.
But what were the two items that were sold out?
You already see it.
Them goddamn hoodies.
You know where we stood.
Them goddamn hoodies. It's hot as shit outside. They want them hoodies.
Who the fuck were we arguing
with? Wait. Hold on. What was my man's name? I don't want to shout his name out, but I want to pull up these tweets.
Talking about the Titster?
No. What was?
Tipster.
Tipster.
Yeah. On Terry's tip.
Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't understand.
Terry did a lot for us.
First off, I don't know where this guy came from. So what had happened was 4th of July. This is an old image, right? This image of this cartoon image of Hulk Hogan with the flag. He's standing up like a George Washington ass motherfucker. somebody in Brother Mav's household took a black marker and just
Bang, bang.
made a
Bang,
quick alteration. We used it last year. You know where we stand. Recycled it again for this year on 4th of July. A couple people on the Twitter was like, yo, respect. This man because there were a couple of people there were two people. This one man said, without Hogan, wrestling wouldn't have survived to the point that podcasts about it would even exist. So, and then he had 5 crying facts, bugging ass nigga, 5 crying face emojis. And I replied back. I said, you know what? No, because it's a fact. No, I don't think any of us have ever denied what Hogan has meant to what pro wrestling became.
Facts.
You know, like you have to be stupid to be like, oh, this man doesn't mean anything to the world of pro wrestling. He was that guy when we were growing up.
Wait.
Yeah.
He was never the weight. This is the thing. And all right, we got to cut this off at the legs, right? Yeah. Hogan was wildly popular in the 80s. And he has the most famous, quite possibly the most important heel turn.
Yeah, he has 2 of the most famous things in history. You're right.
Yeah, but I'm saying even without the NWO stuff, without the NWO stuff, his legacy in terms of what he did for pro wrestling was already it was certified years before he finally, made that heel turn.
However, let's talk about what is perceived as Hogan's greatness. Hogan was always overly cartoonish on the mic.
True. He was the cartoon that he ended up getting.
Hogan could not put on matches. And Hogan wrestled until he became a caricature of himself. He wrestled way too long. So first of all, can you play too long and ruin your legacy? Is my question. And then second of all, there are a lot of niggas I'm definitely putting in front of Hogan when we're all said and done, because the real weight was sold after Hogan, you know what I'm saying, and really after WCW when, you know what I mean, it was, post Attitude and all that.
This nigga pod.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I think the one thing that Hogan has is without him, nobody from the real biggest era of pro wrestling could have even done what they did.
Yeah, no, he on the bottom end of the you know what I mean, when Nino and G Money were still in the Jeep before they took over the Carter.
Facts. That was him and Vince. That was him, Vince and Randy. Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Hold on, but without him, with him, they lost a lot.
Yeah, well, so, I think I think because you have to remember there were risks taken. Like there was never a WrestleMania before WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Like Vince felt that Hogan's celebrity had the potential to be that big to where he would end up getting on SNL. He would end up being, down with Cyndi Lauper, who was one of the biggest rock stars at the time. Like there was a lot. Hogan wasn't tested. Vince had a vision and he went with that. But I think the problem is, and I mean, there's a lot of extenuating circumstances. Nobody saw a whole steroid trial come and things like that, because there's certain things that would happen that Hogan would be forced to react to. When the steroid trial came around, if you look at the time frame, you also notice that he wasn't really doing much in pro wrestling at that time. He was falling back because he knew that when you think of steroids in pro wrestling, you look at this juiced up fucking monster dropping legs on people all the damn time. Like he was the poster child for that. But I think that in combination with the fact that, like you said, he did it for too long. I think by the time he got to the Warrior match, it was a wrap. There was nothing else for him to do, and it was perfect evidence because he even left and came back It was what, the him and Sergeant Slaughter WrestleMania that following year or whatever, and or it was 2 years, something like that. That shit was booty butt cheeks, whatever year that was. That was the worst.
Trash.
Financially, that was a very bad time. But he was already past his prime. There wasn't anything you could do with that character to make more money at that point in the WWE.
And then what'd he do?
He dipped. He went to Hollywood, then he went to WCW.
And then he was trash there.
He lucked into that because while he was a marquee, because Eric Bischoff laid it out beautifully. He said, "Look, WCW was in the shits, but they had a lot of money, so they needed names to generate money from licensing deals because of these big names. That's why they signed the Randy Savages and the Hulk Hogans and brought back the Ric Flairs and the Shaqs and all these people that they had, the Rodmans and Jay Leno's. That was all what they were doing at that point, was just attracting big names so there could be big conversations around them. That was the whole key to all of those big names. It was the reason they got Hogan. Hogan wasn't a good wrestler at that point, but he was the biggest name in pro wrestling at that time, to the point where when they needed to be like, look, we need some fucking licensing deals, we need to make some extra bread outside of pay-per-view and house shows, which they weren't making any money off of, they had Hogan. And once people said, oh, Hulk Hogan, bet we want to put these toys together, get these movie and TV deals, and all this stuff starts popping off for them. Yeah. And then you turn them heel. It's again, he was a force, but to get back to the point, we're also talking about shit that happened 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Like, the whole goddamn game has changed. And in that time that has changed, we got to see his true colors.
Let me ask you this. What would you say if and I know we didn't intend to talk about this racist nigga Terry for this long.
Well, that's because this Joker went on, and this was just like a couple of days ago, so it's real fresh. But anyway, I'm sorry.
What would you say his current fingerprint would be on pro wrestling right now? Because I would argue I don't see any.
He doesn't have one.
I think his fingerprint is similar to what we're noticing with a lot of people in a lot of industries where a lot of money was put in, that you can have people that are on top and be the biggest superstars in the world and they're still pieces of shit. That part of him and the superstardom of pro wrestling runs through a lot of people in the world of pro wrestling. So I think his legacy is whack shit hiding in the shadows. And it's not just the racism shit. I mean, again, the steroid shit, which brought in the drug shit, was a huge problem for pro wrestling. It took decades of people dying and shit like Chris Benoit happening for Vince to be like, yo, we need to smarten up. And that was because everybody wanted to see this balding, juiced up freak rip a t-shirt every week on television. If we're really trying to talk about, did Goldberg wear shirts? No, we talking about the man who wore yellow. And now that he's a grown man,
the booty man.
He's the booty man's main man. The man that opened the door for the booty man to get inside.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And no, I'm not pausing none of that because I don't know what these niggas do.
Hey, yo.
I don't open the door for the booty man. I mean,
hey, yo.
I didn't give him the name. That was his name on television. They said, oh shit, it's the booty man.
Hey, yo.
And then the man ran out to the ring. The booty man.
Hey, yo.
It's the booty man. What you want me to do? This shit happened. It's not my fault that I remember that it happened. You know what I'm saying? They did it. But so
hey, yo, the booty man ran with a nigga named the Shark is crazy.
Hey, yo.
The booty man. So after my man said that, and he was
Mud
basically
shark.
when I told him that no one's denying that Hogan and what he did, without him, wrestling wouldn't be where it was to the point where we could even be doing podcasts. I said, yeah, that's understood, but we're where we are now. And he says, when you say that, where do you mean? At a point where all American black people talk about is race, yet they'll never visit Africa. If you look into it, there's a lot of black wrestlers from back in the day that say the Hulkster wasn't racist to them at all, those are two different statements. Let me break that down step by step. First,
Break down the fact that he's not black first.
well, I don't know where this man is from. I think he's from Australia or something like that.
The Caucasoid Mountains.
He's also followed by
Antifa.
he's followed by two brothers. Shouts out to the Public Enemies podcast, but he's followed by two of them and the podcast main account. Those are the only three people I know that follow him. And he's only followed by 31 people.
Follows. Those are blind follows, my nigga.
I hope. I'll interrogate a nigga. I'll hold the strap. But so he said, nigga, come on.
Yo, the problem is you can see this nigga's reaction.
Come on. So the first, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but black people of a certain rationale are able to hold conversations about race and the problems with race in America and across the globe and still spend time to talk about fucking pro wrestling and academics and Freddie Gibbs and whatever album just dropped and, whatever sneakers just came out in 2K or whatever. Like, we're able to walk and chew bubble gum, my guy. I don't know how much it costs to go to Africa. I've never looked into going to Africa. I know it's
far.
Well, that's the thing. I know Africa is very far. And I'm assuming when you go somewhere very far, you need some cheddar. That's why Dave Chappelle didn't go before he had the M's that he had from Comedy Central. And I told him, I said, look, bro, whenever we all sit down and figure out a way to get to Africa, we taking our asses to Africa. Fuck that shit.
I'll be late then too, nigga.
He's still sending out shirts. But
fact.
My thing is, not having visited Africa means nothing about why we choose not to rock with Terry. Those are separate situations together. And then he says, oh, well, it's almost the equivalent of some of Hulk Hogan's best friends are black. You're not going to sit here and tell me that back in the 80s and 90s,
Virgil, he'll tell you.
Where the systemic racism, we were in a situation back then where we weren't seeing the diverse array of WWE champions that we're seeing today, like literally right now. That wasn't even a thing. There weren't enough black people, there weren't enough brown people, there weren't enough women to hold those positions back then. So the ones that did, even the ones who you wouldn't say were coons or trying to, play a role, they still had to eat some of that shit. I imagine there's a lot of nights Tony Atlas was sitting in his room swinging at the door like Trey was in Boys in the Hood off of some shit that somebody said randomly, and they didn't even know what they were saying.
I don't know about
Treyway, bitch.
Laugh like Ricky Ricardo. I can't rock with him.
But my at the end of the day, I don't know what part of the Black American experience that this person thinks they understand.
None of that for 800.
I know there are a number of our not even like great. There's probably some of our uncles right now who had to bite back a lot of bullshit just to make sure they still get to work the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk to me about what a lot of black wrestlers from back in the day said about Hulk Hogan. A lot of them are now saying, yeah, and they was all calling us niggas too. Ric Flair and all of them, Roddy Piper and all of them. So, again, dude, don't be on these Twitters trying to talk to me about some shit like this. It shouts out to Fat Boy Diz being like, nigga, what the fuck does visiting Africa have to do with any of this? Like, when you got that man on Twitter like, yo, what the fuck? You know you talking some dumb shit.
Shout out to the homie.
This dude's from Ireland. In lieu of any black community in my home of Ireland in the 80s,
Black Ireland.
I found great solace in wrestling, especially Hogan. Now I'm supposed to hate him because of a word, laughing emoji. Black American people are too sensitive and need to visit. I wonder if this guy's gone to Africa. I don't want to ask him because I don't really care.
Africa. Come to the States, my nigga. Come through.
Yeah.
Hey, come to Shepard.
Yeah, you really show how much you don't know when you say my home of Ireland.
Nigga, and it's not. They don't want you there.
Bubbling and doubling.
But the thing is,
they don't want you there. Son. Bubbling and doubling.
I don't know what the black experience is in Ireland or anywhere else outside of America. I know two things. I know one, they don't like your black ass to begin with, and two, what you're going through there, I can't imagine it's the same as what's going on here. I can't.
Nigga, if they call you nigga at the Green Turtle, I know they calling you nigga in Ireland.
I got $5 on this. He's never been called a nigga in his life. I got $5.
Better be the name.
I have 7 words I'd like to call him.
I got $5 on.
One word.
He's hard R nigga somebody before he's been called nigga with the hard R. That's an assumption, and I'm sorry, but just the way my man's is talking.
When you hard R nigga, use a bitch nigga.
The way somebody's man is responding gives me the impression that he's not experienced race the same way we have. Call that being in America, call that whatever. I think there are certain things that he's probably not experienced firsthand for him to keep talking about. I mean, shouts out to Africa. My ancestors, they probably didn't want to be here. They wanted to chill in Africa. And they grabbed them. They grabbed him and said, no, you're getting on this boat and you're doing this work or you're dying. I don't know what his ancestors were doing. They probably escaped and went up to Ireland.
Bubbling and doubling.
And I don't want to be, because again, I wasn't thinking about this dude until we just had this conversation now. I forgot the conversation because it was that pointless, but
I never saw it.
You're not going to be on here trying to talk about what we should and shouldn't be acknowledging, especially when it comes to Hulk fucking Hogan. Nigga, that shit been sailed. And don't tell me that. Tell WWE who bounced him out the ship once that tape dropped.
Yep.
Bitch. Anyway, sorry. I didn't even want to go that far. This is y'all fault. This is y'all fault. Because that wasn't necessary.
I'm with it.
I just don't like people jumping out the window because there's a big assumption of what we do and who we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't follow us, so I know you're not listening to us. But if you're not going through the conversations and trying to understand where we're coming from when we take a marker and etch out this bastard's face every time, and then don't talk to me about visiting Africa or how much you loved him 30, 40 years ago. Go eat a sandwich, nigga. What the fuck? AEW's back to liking black folks next week. I guess their Fight for the Fallen is going to feature Sonny Kiss challenging Cody Rhodes. Cody for the TNA Championship.
Cody been getting in there with all the minorities.
Has he been?
Son,
Yeah, he wants to understand their experience because remember he used to didn't see color.
Yeah. Does he
Is
see? Does he see color now?
Apparently, yeah.
He see,
is it possible for Sonny Kiss to win?
No,
no. Cody's beaten too many black and brown people for that belt already for me to believe that Sonny's got a chance.
I think that nigga be talking to him in his dad's accent when he be beating him. Baby, when I whip into the ropes, baby, I need you to go hip toss, drop, and then we're gonna go home.
But I mean, this is the stuff I don't think I've ever heard a comment. Like you always hear about wrestlers calling it in the ring, right? I'm gonna assume it's easy when you're working with someone who you're having, like you're wrestling somebody night in, night out on the road. You're wrestling on Raw every week. It's easier for you to be like, all right, hip toss, arm drag, hit me with your stunners, like these like signature moves.
Mm-hmm.
Is Cody going to be in the ring like, all right, whip me into the turnbuckle
and twerk in my face,
and then hit the twerk, like because Sonny's moveset is unique to say the least.
Hey, yo.
I've never seen anybody, man, woman. I've never seen anybody.
Motherfucker.
I've never seen anybody like twerk in somebody's face.
Hey, yo.
It's a thing that's happened. Go pull up a Sonny Kiss highlight reel. He's gonna do like a flip. He'll land on the top rope. Because it's the move where he puts his feet on the dude's shoulders, and it's like he's pulling them into a twerk. I mean, it's a move that he does. I don't think we've seen it a lot because
that's his finisher.
I don't know. I don't think.
Hey, yo.
I don't think that's his finish, but I don't.
That is his finisher. That's how he finishes them.
Hey, yo.
Because
Hey, yo.
they've not given Sonny Kiss any real TV time in terms of wrestling. I don't know if the world knows of his unique moveset.
Son, he. All jokes aside, he had one of the most beautiful 450s last night.
Yeah.
Blew my
No, he's
motherfucking
amazing.
mind. So this is why I'm asking. I'm like, yo, does Sonny Kiss have a shot? What's the probability of an upset next week?
I think. I don't want to say what I want to say. What I'm going to say is, I think it depends. See, and you did that. I wasn't doing that.
Hey, yo.
I think realistically, it depends on how for the cause Cody is when they're taping. Like if Cody's like, yo, George Floyd, I feel you. I'm here to really show that we're diverse. Let's go. If he's on that wave, I can see him giving him that belt. But past matches and not that far past have proven that if you black or brown, because Sonny might have an amazing match with Cody.
Yeah.
I don't know if that match is going to end with him winning.
Yeah, that's a history lesson, champ. I remember what happened last chapter.
But I hope that at the very least Sonny gets a good amount of television time so people could.
Great deal of offense.
It'll be good. And I think because they're still good with letting Private Party. They opened. They might have opened. Did they open both?
They opened last night.
They opened Fyter Fest night 2. I don't remember if their match was first on night 1, but they were early. They were very early on both shows. They're still green. I wouldn't say they're there yet, but I mean, it's good to have them getting some good offense in, even if it ends up being a losing effort. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen with Sonny Kiss. But again, if Sonny Kiss wins that TNT Championship, I'm gonna tell y'all this: we got to ride for Sonny like we rode for Keith. Keep the same energy. Don't do that. Keep that same energy. If Sonny win the TNH the championship of a channel is around Sonny Kiss's waist. Call it what you want. Call it pandering, whatever you want to say about Cody. That's still a moment. That's still a huge moment.
Yeah, I say pull the trigger.
He might be one of the few like openly gay champions in a professional league in America. It's like him and Orlando Jordan and who else? Openly gay?
Fred Dust.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think.
Did he have a belt?
He might. Did he? Yeah, but because he came out after he was in WWE.
No, he was in WWE when he came out.
But his character wasn't gay though. It wasn't even mentioned on TV.
Well, see, I think his character could have been gay, but it wasn't. His character wasn't flamboyant.
I don't think his for the amount of coverage that TMZ and other outlets gave him in the airport talking about being a gay man living in America, that never was reflected on television. Television, it was because he was still primetime players. It was still him just like you know.
I mean the like on social media, which is still supposed to be somewhat kayfabe. A lot of folks came for him.
More now than it was then, though. I think the Twitter, especially of today, is more steeped in storyline than it was. That would have been what 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know because I mean I don't even know if you can consider like Pat Patterson was he an openly gay champion?
Nah, probably not as a champion.
I think it was more. It was at best it was probably more an open secret, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But so like I said, I think Orlando Jordan is probably
it was 2013 when Darren Young came out.
Exactly. And then he had a couple years, I feel like, with the WWE before he left. And I mean, sexuality, romance, anything wasn't brought into Darren's character at all. Because if you're not Bobby Lashley, I don't know if they really see you as like a person who can maintain loving relationships or whatever. I don't fucking know.
Shout out to Bobby Lashley's sisters, man.
Word. Shouts out to Angelo Dawkins for officially becoming a father.
Word.
Like that happened we're recording Thursday. That happened he dropped it this evening.
Yeah, he shot and scored.
Yeah. It was I finally watched part of the Ricochet WWE 365 the other day where it was it followed his year going from, the end of his NXT run to being on the main roster. And I don't know. It was whatever. It was a documentary on Ricochet who's not really done much, especially on the main roster. So it is what it is. But the best part was it WrestleMania? Where Angelo was backstage and Ricochet's about ready to go out and perform. And Angelo's like, yeah, man, just remember everything I told you. All that flippy stuff, man. Yeah, just remember everything I told you. Like, Angelo, you were goddamn goofy, my guy. But
that nigga funny, man. I rock with yo.
Yeah, no, he's dope. He should be a good father. I didn't realize he had like some weirdo like hipster backpacky gimmick back before they were Street Profits.
Yeah, it was, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that shit was like 2006.
ACI.
Yeah, he looked like the cool kids. You remember the cool kids?
Black bags.
That's what the shit looked like. But yeah, no, yeah. Shouts out to him.
Shout out,
Looking-
Ducks, man. Shout out to Lil Smoke.
Facts. Trying to think if there was anything else. Again, I don't think there's any Matt Riddle conversation needs to happen this week. Trying to think if there's anything else that's really being missed right now. They keep. I still don't know why they're calling Extreme Rules the horror show. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Horror show?
It's a bunch of whores out
Horse?
Horseshack?
there.
Welcome back. Oh, sorry.
I heard Lana's parents got the coronavirus.
Damn.
Linda McMahon's mom passed away, but she was like 93.
Had to be.
R.I.P. I think that's facts. That's facts. She was.
Man is 90.
Her mom had her at 3.
Wow.
No bullshit. Fucking Crypt Keeper.
Oh, I guess the only other thing. Crypt Keeper's terrible. The only other thing of note is the Rey Mysterio stuff. Apparently, he's still
out of contract.
he's currently working without a contract, and it's not like it's. They've been in negotiations. It sounds like for a while.
That per appearance pay gotta be amazing.
It has to be.
I need hazard pay.
That's the finesse.
That nigga in Supreme.
But because remember
you need me.
He's in a pretty big Raw storyline right now with Seth Rollins, who they aren't gonna not push. But remember,
they got a whole True Religion outfit on waiting for him every time he go down there.
Him and his son. Remember, he was the one who, when he was injured a while ago, they finessed him with the extra. That was the first person I remember being injured and then being like, "Yo, you were adding 4 months or whatever to your contract." So for him to be like, "Look, I want more money," and they're like, "No," he's like, "All right, bet I'm gonna still show up to work, but you gotta pay me,
my nigga. You gonna pay me."
The thought is that he's trying to figure out where his son's going to land. I think his son, I believe his son wants to be a pro wrestler, but the question is, where is he going to go? That's going to be his home. Someone like Meltzer, I think Meltzer is like, yo, I want him to go to like New Japan, like the toughest wrestler in Japan. I don't know if Dominic's trying to be Zack Sabre Jr.
Nice to be.
And I think, for a kid, it's like, I can't tell his age, but he looks small. He looks like a small stature guy to be trying to wrestle.
He's not a man.
Yeah, because he did, like, I remember Rey Mysterio was probably 17, 18 when people started seeing him in ECW, and he was running. He was a ball of energy, and I don't see his son being anywhere near that wave right now. If people are thinking about where he should go if he wants to be a really good wrestler, it's probably overseas somewhere that has like a really tough, rigorous training. I'm of the mind that Ray's thinking, I don't care who's out there right now. I have a feeling Vince or whoever survives Vince is going to keep WWE going 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line. So why not get Dominic down there? Mm-hmm. Or even if he's not like a marquee player, he's still on the team. And he's Rey Mysterio's son. So, if it comes to, I don't want to say charity work, but like, appearances and things like that, where you need a certain type of star power saying, hey, one of the biggest Mexican stars ever, his son is right here. You've seen him on TV last week next to him. Like, something tells me Ray's trying to, I think Ray wants to go that route, but he doesn't want to make that decision yet. So until then, who knows how many zeros are being tacked on to his weekly TV appearance fee.
Shout out Ray for being a finesser.
I love it.
Oh,
I can't sign that shit, bro. I can't sign that.
Look, if you get lawn darted into the side of a production truck and it becomes a meme, like 20 years later, you better finesse a bag. You better get every penny you can get out of that man, because he hoarding them. No, what is this look? What was with your lips? Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that. See, that's what I'm saying. It looks weird.
Hey yo.
I had something on my nose, my nigga.
Yeah, with your
Hey yo.
what was going on? It looked weird. I think on that note,
And the Scott Hall. Yeah, don't worry about it.
y'all got any Black Rasslins of the week? I think I know who we all are going to pick, but
Actually, nah.
talk about it.
For being a maven and a trailblazer.
Oh, I thought Maven was your wrestler.
No. Shout out to him and whatever time he gets off work tonight.
Or bounce at 2 a.m.
Yeah, 100%. He make the mask. He make masks with he make Corona masks
With his mom.
vents, with the little vents in them on one side. So he don't make two. You know what I mean? He gonna
That's a shame.
Promotion. Anyway, for being a trailblazer, man, in Black Rasslin lists, making a list, the top of the Black Power rankings, man. I'm going with that guy Greg, the homie G. Shout out, man. You know what I mean? Niggas had us number one. Yeah, 100%, man. Shout out to the delegation. You know what I mean? Having the Black Rasslin podcast in the BRP 50, the second year of it in the Black Power rankings, man. Shout out.
Well, I will say, and I'll let Math get into his Black Wrestler Week in a sec, but because I remember listening to last year when we dropped the list, because he had us in his Black Power ranking last year as well. I don't remember if we might have been number one. I think we were the last thing that he mentioned last year, but it was funny to hear his conversation with Rosenberg because it was the exact same.
But
like last year,
Rosenberg was different because last year Rosenberg was like they're 50, and now he was like, I wonder who's on the list. Like it was a different
conversation on that end, but it was still the you're putting the podcast making a list as your number one on, like it felt, I thought I was listening to the same conversation for a second, but I mean shit like that is just funny. It's our impact is only as big in certain spheres, and it's interesting to see it.
I have to change it. I'm sorry, Greg. I apologize. I have to immediately. I gotta call an audible.
I know something ratchet just happened. I know it.
Brother Andre Young, not that one. AKA New Jack, just posted a picture on his Instagram of OJ Simpson. Talking about special birthday shout out to my homeboy.
I knew it was something ratchet. I knew it.
I'm out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody, this is the juice.
Wow.
I'm out.
Wait, Math, no, who's your Black Wrestler?
Oh, you already know, my nigga Keith. Shout out to the Public Enemy's Chief Keith Lee, my nigga.
Facts. I think I as well have to go with Keith Lee as being my Black Wrestler of the week. I don't know if we've decided as a family on, is it Keith 2 belts?
It's just my nigga Keith.
Someone said Basky 2 belts or something like. I don't know. If you go to the two, I think Matt, you posted on the Instagram, or was that you, fam?
That wasn't me.
Someone posted. Yeah. There was the gold image, the Bask and the Glory image, and then I posted the image of the actual in the ring. If you go between those two images, there's a lot of different nicknames in the comments that people gave. We're gonna have to figure that out, and present the best one with Keith before.
Limitless Soldier.
Yeah, 2 Limitless, I think, was one I saw, which is probably hard. 2 Limitless would be a hard T-shirt. Like if you have a big ass 2, WWE. If you steal this design, I want like a big ass 2. It'll be 2, and then you have Limitless 2, and just call the shirt.
2
Now, we're not going to have the conversation on if Keith Lee has white daddies, right?
I sure hope not.
We've said it before. Keith Lee, he doesn't use the word nigga, right?
Mia Yim does. It's good enough.
Mia Yim says nigga more than Keith Lee does.
Of it. Matter of fact,
Absolutely.
when she won them 2 belts last night.
Hey, yo.
She was wrestling in Tim's on that same show. She had Tim's on that show.
Never mind.
She was ready. She was ready. Please let the people know where they can find y'all on social media.
Hey man, IlFam79 your social media choice, but more importantly, at Where's Buffy every single weekend.
Look at that.
How the fuck did he get here? Math the model Martel.
Hey, yo.
Motherfucker.
Everybody's shit's humming, my nigga. Everybody's merch should be there.
Hey, yo.
Relax. Relax.
Yeah, and I want to say,
I'm out.
no disrespect to anybody, any of our peers, but we know who merch is hotter. I'm just saying.
You know.
Hey, yo.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit, guys.
Look, when I look in my one drawer and I look at those shirts, I'm like, yo, I don't know which shirt to put on. Like, you could literally do anything. You could literally do anything. Shouts out to
them Cold Commanders.
Chris Bay posted the picture. He had the array, and he said, I don't know what should I wear today. Some joker said, yo, you gotta wear.
I was surprised that he posted those because we had the conversation.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
I was surprised. So that
Look.
shocked me. Shout out to Chris Bay. Always shout out to Chris Bay. That's fair.
Yeah, 100. Look, I'm gonna say this. If I had a BRP World Heavyweight Championship right now, and you said you had to give it to one person to represent Chris Bay, I might take the Corona plane trip to wherever he has to be to film Impact on Twitch and be like, yo,
Now you gotta go to Florida. Don't you?
take the gold belt or take whatever, take the aluminum belt, take the wood belt. Pause.
I'm not going to Florida.
You gonna tell him to take the strap?
No, I don't think.
Hey, yo.
We do not call our championship a strap or a belt, actually. I think Vince tells his wrestlers belts are used to hold up your pants. These are championships. These are held with prestige. And if I spend my goddamn hard-earned money on a
Motherfucker.
don't do that. Don't do that. I'm over soundbar right
The
now.
champion, my nigga.
All right. I'm at Cal on Twitter.
out.
Then leave, nigga. At Black Rasslin on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BlackRasslin.com is the website. And as always, you can find the Black Rasslin podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. I guess we're on wherever you can find podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. We're also on YouTube. Just search for Black Rasslin on YouTube. We've been thinking about some. I think it's fine. Right now we're good, but I think we're thinking of some different content ideas for YouTube specifically. So I would say subscribe now. It's good. Hopefully the channel's going to be more. I'm good. I have no parts of that conference. That's going down on the Math Damon Instagram account. Math Twerks is the hashtag.
Hey, yo.
It's gonna be Math. It's gonna be Sonny Kiss.
This is for all you bitch ass niggas on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on the YouTube. We almost done. There's still some merch on the Big Cartel, blackwrestling.bigcartel.com. I know Mav hates it, but the shirts is,
niggas, yo.
the shirts is too fire. People want to buy them. They still buying. There's probably
Shirts
another.
getting us new equipment. The shirt's getting us new equipment. Keep buying these bitches.
Facts.
We on
If
YouTube.
You see all hit the shirts. You see that? The rope.
we still paying off this layaway on this damn equipment. We need to cop some more shirts, my guy.
She counting
We
right
need five.
That's
Just five. Just 5 more shirts. If you're watching this right now, 5 more shirts, it would be good.
5 more. 5 more. Get us a new green screen.
No, I'm just kidding. Shouts out to everybody who's copping the merch.
But you can see he stopped looking like he's actually in the Underground Railroad.
Yeah. It must be morning time. We've been recording for long as hell. We'll catch y'all next week. Shit. We're out. Peace.
Peace.